Assalamualaikum everybody. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Assalamualaikum again everybody. Thank you for taking your time to join us at this monthly date with Perdaus. We are pleased that we have Ustazah Zarina Razak here with us for the topic of the night, Jodoh, Honeymoon and Onionmoon. Sounds very intriguing, yes? But before we go further, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Hatim Hamidon, and also introduce everyone what the monthly date with Perdaus is all about. Our vision is at Perdaus is to build a righteous society. It basically means nurturing people to be good so that they for the good of the community. We hope that a monthly this will be our small contribution to call on the two individuals to rise to the occasion. It is also a play on the word date. Dates are nutritious, sweet, and a food of sunnah. They are beneficial, just as how we hope our sessions here would be beneficial too, inshallah. So next month, there will be another monthly date session with Ustaz Dr. Hanif, who will be speaking on Isra or Miraj, or the night extension. Those interested could still register. Stay tuned and follow us on Facebook and Instagram because we have many more monthly sessions lined up for the rest of the year. Okay, we'll just go through the program first. I believe Ustazah Zarina is willing to play by ear on the presentation and the Q&A session. So there'll be an opening and her presentation, Q&A, presentation again, and then Q&A again before we close with the closing dua and feedback, inshallah. But please know that we will close by 9:30 p.m. As planned, inshallah. Okay. So when it is time for Q&A, please unmute yourself should you wish to engage with the speaker. You may also type at the box. And for anonymous questions, please take note of the URL here that you can submit your questions. You are also welcomed to switch on your camera so that we can see our audience. Please ensure that everyone facing the camera is properly dressed. Okay, so a bit about Perdaus before we start proper. Perdaus is a voluntary welfare organization that has been in Singapore since 1964. We are in the business of education, in nurturing individuals and families to build a righteous society. And for this one, we have at Perdaus, which is an infant care and childcare center, where we start with the very young. at Perdaus is also the pioneer childcare under MMO that promotes integrated learning that includes children with mild special needs. We also serve our children through our weekend madrasah Perdaus. We accept children from pre-nursery through kindergarten, primary and secondary levels. We strive to bring together different methodologies for our children to appreciate learning more about Islam, including experiential learning. During this pandemic period, we have taken pains to ensure that the safety of our children by introducing a blend of on-site and online learning. Our post-secondary programs have also been creatively repackaged to ensure safety of our students. We used to have yearly expeditions to overseas such as Batam, Malaysia and Cambodia. A plus for many of our youth participants, there is no exam. Adult learning in Perdaus is also available through our Fardu Ain and Fardu Kifayah classes in our kelas Agama Dewasa programs. And we also have sessions on contemporary tafsir with Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hanif Hassan. As a charity, we also accept donations and zakat for wealth or zakat harta. We provide yearly kurban services as well, which meets a comfortable price point for many families in Singapore. We do fundraising projects as well. In fact, we are doing a Ramadan fundraising project on selling dates and rempeh for the upcoming holy month. If you wish to make an order, you may scan this QR code and support, inshallah. So finally, I would like to introduce to you our speaker for tonight. Our speaker for tonight is Ustazah Zarina Begam binti Abdul Razak. Ustazah Zarina is actually a council member of the Perdaus board. In fact, she is a key appointment holder as our secretary. She is a a certified Ustazah who graduated from International Islamic University of Malaysia. She is also a holder of a couple of other certificates, and this includes Positive Parenting Program certificate from Queensland University. Professionally, Ustazah Zarina is a marriage and family life educator and consultant in her own company with her husband. As you can see here, she has touched many lives through her consultancy and education work, and is very, very experienced. Alhamdulillah. If you want to know more about her, please follow her on IG. So, Ustazah Zarina, without further ado, I would like to hand over to you. Ustazah Zarina, are you ready?
Yes, inshallah.
Okay, so I just spotlight you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fatim?
Yes, I can hear you.
Inshallah. Have you opened the session, Fatim? I missed out.
Sorry?
Have you opened the session?
Yeah, we can start with Al-Fatiha first.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done an introduction just now, so I think we can start with a small dua and Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Alladhina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Okay.
Can I share slides?
Yes.
Take
Let
over. Okay, yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. How is everybody tonight? I hope you have your dinner. Yeah. So many people are curious. They've been asking me, what is Onionmoon? The word Onionmoon caught their attention. Well, we saw Jodoh. Everybody knows what Jodoh is. Honeymoon, you've heard about it. Honeymoon, right? In Malay, it will be Bulan Madu, isn't it? Yeah. So Onionmoon, what is Onionmoon? So if I convert it to Malay, it will become Bulan Bawang. Yeah. Yeah. And so as I shared with Hatim, yeah. Let's see who is here tonight. I don't have a polling option here, but it would be good to know what do you hope to look forward to here? Yeah, is it more on the Jodoh, more on the honeymoon or Onionmoon? So since we can't have a poll, I'm just going to cover everything, and then from your questions, then we know what exactly you're looking for. And so when I crafted up this topic, it's more about sharing with the audience about what marriage life is about, and starting from the time that you're looking for your jodoh, right? Myself, I've been married for 26 years, Alhamdulillah, and we go through the part of the honeymoon and the honeymoon all the time. Yeah, so it's not a perfect. There is no a perfect. I would say marriage. Everything is a work in progress because we're still on this earth, isn't it? We have not died yet, and so Allah Taala always wants us to do better and better and better all the time. So I've seen here some young faces and some senior faces, and it would be good if you have any questions to put it up, and Sister Khatin can help me there. Yeah, and we'll see how we can manage the questions. And I understand right now we have like 30 people who are here in the audience. And Sis Khatim, I noticed we are on FB Live, is it? Yeah, okay, that is not what I expected, but inshallah, I hope to be able to meet your curiosity and to deliver to my best ability. I do not intend it to be like a kuliah session, so I hope we are interactive and here to together seek knowledge. I learned as much from the participants that we deliver our courses to over the many years. I think by doing this marriage course, it actually has helped me to strengthen my own relationship with my husband and my family, immediate family and extended family, inshallah. Now, when we seek knowledge, there's four parts of it. Very simply, we pass on this one. Something that is open self. It is known to ourselves and also known to others. Yeah, some knowledge we already know and they also know. Yeah, we know about us, they know about us, and there are some that only we know, other people do not know. Right? So there are just some secrets that we hold, that we keep even before our marriage, even sometimes through our marriage, even sometimes after many years of marriage, there'll be some part of us that is the hidden self that we will not share. That probably we want to keep it, just let it be in the past and not, talk about it and let not it affect what we have now, yeah, in our life, inshallah. Then there's also another part that we call unknown self, something that we don't know and something that others do not know also. So this is the part where we discover, we say, oh wow, I didn't know that, about us, about me. Yeah. And this is what sometimes I do through, I just had a 4-hour session before this 2 to 6. So my voice is a bit sore. And tomorrow, next 2 days, I have 2 full day session. So may Allah, grant me mercy by protecting the voice that I'm using now to talk over, inshallah, the media. Yeah. So something that you do not know, and wow, you discover this, and this is what happened last 4 hours when I had a private session with a couple, about their relationship, and it's quite good because before you embark on the relationship, it's good to know our strengths and weaknesses. And of course, the last part is blind self. Okay, blind self is something that other people all see it in ourselves, but we don't know. We're the last people, last person to know about ourselves. So it's like something at the back, our belakang, behind, right? We don't see our back, but others see it more often than us, especially those close to us. So this is our blind side. If they don't tell us about it, we probably will never know what is behind us, unless also if we get a mirror to help us look at our back. Now, I need to know if you can hear me clearly because I'm not using a usual mic. Good now, fine. All right, alhamdulillah. So, this part is called Johari Window. Yeah? It's not Mr. Johari, but it's a combination of two names here, inshallah. Yeah? We had done this research and it has benefited a lot of people, inshallah. So we are here we want to invest in happiness, and we want this happiness to be a happiness that's lasting in this world and in the hereafter, inshallah. And so I come here, I have only a very few slides. I call this the moon curves, and sometimes they call it somewhere else. Now, you're looking at this curve, yeah? You talk about relationship is an emotive thing, right? Something's from our heart. Let's look at this. At the time when we're looking for our soulmate, we're looking at it, we're finding our prospect. So we start from zero, let's say from time X, from zero time. And then we get to know somebody. Or we're looking at him and her from a distance. Yeah, we might like get to know them through group activities, or sometimes we get to know them through uh, projects and all. And we went through the parts where uh, whether we like this person or we don't like, is this the right person or not? And so the liking might go up. You follow the curve up, up and down, up and down. The time it can be any time. It's I'm looking for my mouse. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so you can go up and down, up and down. And when we are certain and we like this person, inshallah, after the ta'aruf and getting to know that, we can question how ta'aruf it is. Then it would be like we are beginning to enter the honeymoon period. Yeah? So this part normally is during engagement, I would say. Yeah, when we are certain this is a person, we did all our research, fact finding, istihara, over and over, and yeah, we sure. And so we're going to enter this honeymoon period, a period where we see mostly all beautiful things. Yeah. So sometimes during this engagement period, we become what we say, love is blind. Yeah, yeah, because we're going to see all positive things, and then when we see, even when we see weaknesses, we can say, oh, it's okay, we will manage that. We will talk about it. It will go away. We will have time to solve the problems. Yeah, we will have time to get over whatever is difficulty. Oh, let's attend the marriage preparation course. Yeah, and so that maybe we can see how to manage this. This is what I get sometimes from participants when they came to me like 2-3 weeks before their wedding. Yeah, and I ask them, yeah, what brings you to me? And especially when we have private sessions, what brings you to me? Why are you here? What do you hope to look for? And they say, yeah, we're getting married, this next 1 or 2 weeks. Then after probe further, I realized that there are some issues that they can't manage by themselves, yeah, and they need a third party or somebody to arbitrage between them, or at least to validate some of the things they already know, going through that Johari window concept. Yeah. So this is a honeymoon period where sometimes you already felt the non-honey, the honey also is sometimes missing there, but because you want to go through this marriage, you want to go through this wedding, like you say, just jalan aja lah, sondol aja. But of course, with istihara, we put our trust in Allah Ta'ala. But even if we put our trust in Allah Ta'ala wants us to put in the effort, right? And we need to enter this period the way that is blessed, that is barakah, by following what Allah Ta'ala asks us to do and staying away from what Allah Ta'ala wants us to refrain from. If let's say we fall into the trap, yeah, we fall into the trap of committing sin in our relationship, we must quickly taubat, we must quickly seek forgiveness from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. And so I would always tell couples, at the point where at the end of the class, to istighfar and istighfar and istighfar, so that you start your marriage on the right and beautiful footing. So wherever they come from whichever experience they had, sometimes they've known each other for 10 years. Yeah. So it does not mean the honeymoon will stretch forever into the marriage life. It does not mean. It does not mean that, because when you enter into marriage, you start from zero. You start all over again. Yeah. But how do we enter that? Like Nabi Adam alaihi salam, right? When he was sent to earth, it was planned that Allah has created man to become the Khalifa on this earth, to become the leader. Yeah. But what happened along the way, we know the story, right? Along the way, the consequences that Prophet Adam alaihi salam and Sayyidatina Hawa was sent onto the earth. It's not that um, the honeymoon kind of descent onto the earth. But what did they do? They did a lot of tawbah and tawbah and tawbah. And Allah is most Rahman Rahim, most merciful. Yeah. He loves those who taubat. And I ask those who went through this stage of making mistakes in their relationship to taubat a lot actually when we enter the relationship, yeah, through nikah. And also the same here. And some of us, after we get to know our prospects and all, we find that, oh no, this is not the right one. And so the emotion there, the wanting to like the person become the other way, and so there's no nikah. So at this point, I put it, there is nikah. Huh? Nikah happens, and there are some research actually that shows honeymoon period can last between from the point of nikah or from the point of solemnization. So this is a general research, not a Islamic based research. It shows that from the point of nikah, right, the honeymoon, the feeling of honeymoon, being like so in love, everything is so beautiful, can be over within 1 hour from the time of the nikah, and it can stretch for as long as around 2 years. Yeah, some people between 2 to 3 years. So this feeling of wow, so beautiful, this marriage life, everything is like wonderful and all, which is beautiful really. Yeah, which is really beautiful. It can stretch up to 2 years, right? Uh, I've met a friend who told me that, an acquaintance, when he found out that I was doing these marriage courses and all, he said, sister, she called me sister, uh, my honeymoon was over within 1 week only. Satu minggu je dia kata. What happened? I asked. What happened, brother? It's a brother. You know, 1 week beautiful pengantin baru, newlywed. After 1 week, he said, that's it, finish all over. Oh, what do you mean by all over? The reality set in now. There's a job, there's a lot of other responsibilities that you have to face and you have to do. So the feeling of on the sky is it that's it, yeah. Then after that is reality. Yeah. So how do we manage this? Does it mean that after marriage, you're not going to feel in love anymore with your partner? You're not going to have that first sensation that you have? Yeah. So before I answer that, I would also suggest to us that when Allah Ta'ala asks us to beware of what of our relationships, is because that He loves us. Yeah, the beauty, the kemanisan, the sweetness of being a newlywed would really be felt. You really, really, I would say, use that as your emotional tank memory. Keep it in your emotional tank. That can be the medicine when you go through periods of challenges. Yeah. So we need to build up this emotional tank, the positive emotional tank. As long as we're in the honeymoon period, it's the best time to really top up your tank, your emotional tank. And so I advise newlyweds, especially even during this time of the pandemic, when you can't go overseas, to use the time that they have here, explore Singapore, be together, go as much as possible on your dating trips, dating outing. For those who are nikah, who are nikah, who already nikah, to build up that positive memory you have with each other, because you need that to draw out, yeah, from your diary, from your records when you face the challenges. Yeah. So how long are we going to be married? Yeah. When you're looking for this jodoh, right? Everybody got married, and everybody wants their marriage to last a lifetime. So how long do we want to be married? Anyone? You like to put in the chat? Hatim, how long? Let's look at the chat. 50 years till Jannah. Yeah, yeah. My parents have been married for more than 50 years. Yeah, they have hit 50 years. Yeah, inshallah. I hope also that my marriage, I've been married for 26 years. This May will be 27 years. Yeah, coming 27. 70 years. Yeah. How long do we live? Yeah. How long do Singaporeans live? Up to what age? Yeah? Is the lifespan here? Anybody knows? 60 to 95, there's a big range. Yeah. So 60, many of us still around, right? My father is now 80 years old. Okay. Yeah. So in general, I think in Singapore, our lifespan is about 84, 85, and it will go up every year. Yeah. So if you are 30 years old now, you just got married, yeah, that means you have 50 years together, 55 years. Yeah. If you live longer, then you're going to, inshallah, be married together. Now you want 100 years. Yeah, probably some people will live up to 100 years. If we want to, let's say, how long you want to be married together to Jannah, inshallah, we have to die first. And we show that we're entering Jannah, inshallah, doa. And are we entering Jannah together? If you were to, let's say, husband, yeah, man, if, sometimes we will ask, if you were to die first, will you allow your wife to marry another one? Because if she marries another one, she may not be with you in Jannah, right? You'll be the latest husband. No. Right. So this is a relative questions, yeah, that we got to ask about ourselves. And so, time check, it's 8:30. Until what time do I have per session? Sis,
I think
Fatin?
around 8:25, 8:30.
Okay, okay. So this is the first part. First, I talk about the honeymoon part, and I guess some of us who are here will want to know things about Jodoh, right? I have not touched so much about that. Let's move on to my slide. Right. And this is one famous ayat that is recommended for you to bring in your doa, in your sujud, if you are in the position of looking for a husband or a wife. And I would say mostly for the first husband or first wife lah, not for second, third, fourth. Not that I'm against polygamy, but focus on one first, yeah. And Inshallah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim from Surah Al-Qasas. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. My Lord, truly I am in need of whatever good that you bestow upon me. Recite a lot of this doha. Sometime in 2017, late 2016, 2017, I started a matchmaking platform. Call it Adam and Hawa Looking for Love. Yeah, we receive a lot of support from the community, and Alhamdulillah. But we were not able to continue the journey. So for some reasons, and so we have put a break on that. But I'm still passionate about helping our youngsters to find their life partner. And I thought what we can do now is through education first, and slowly we will embark into the matchmaking. Inshallah, it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. Well, on this journey, what we discovered is that um, what we had done is to empower the couples who come to us, not couples, the singles who come to us, empower them with the confidence to know what they're looking for. Yeah. So this is my aim here, to empower you with the confidence with what to look for. It's not a full class, so this is just an introduction. And many of them who even if they don't find their life partner through our platform, they found their love partner after they left us, and more confidently. And I'm very happy for them because they call us back and say, Kak Zarina, Ustazah Zarina, thank you so much, for giving us the opportunity to be on that platform. Because with that, they got the confidence and they know what to look for. Yeah. And many of them found their life partner. How do I know that they're happy? Because we got invited to their wedding. Yeah, if they don't like us, they won't invite us. But we got invited, and we're very happy for them. And we pray, that for you too, if you're looking for your soulmate, if there is a soulmate, I tell you, um, these are some of the tips that I want to share with you. Work on the compatibility. Now, there is no such thing as being fully compatible. Really, there's no such thing. No two people are perfectly compatible. You will find differences that you need to embrace, that you need to work on. Yeah. So look at the behavior. Yeah. Judge by behavior, because we do not know by intention. You need to know what you're looking for, what you want. But sometimes with that, you need to know ourselves first. Yeah, so that's what we help couples to understand. Now, even if you're married already, it's always, I mean, good to get to know ourselves first. And the values, what are the values you're looking for? Yeah. And what kind of lifestyle do you want? Now, I'm going to flash some of these are the answers, yeah, that singles give to us when they apply to attend our course. These are the actual things that they tell us that they're looking for. Look at it one by one. Everybody is looking for religion. Most important value, religion. Because I give just a general list of values that they want for, that they're looking for in a life partner. These are replies from both the Muslimin and Muslimat, because all our audience were Muslims then. Looking for religion, honesty, filial loyalty, generosity, sacrifice. Then the next one, religion, honesty, education, living simply and commitment. Then the next one, religion, honesty, filial loyalty, education, and fidelity. I'm going to go through some of these with you. So let's look through as I flash out quite a number of it. Some of the most common things that among our youngsters, among our singles, the things that we look for. Perhaps those already married, you can uh, identify perhaps with some of these, how realistic is it, how far-fetched is it achievable, okay? Do you share the same values with your life partner now, your husband and your wife? Do you have all these things, or have you changed? Yeah, things that are not here, you add on. Okay, so as you see, I'm going to press faster. Yeah, so many rank religion and honesty as a top ranking. Yeah. Thirdly comes with filial fidelity, right? So fidelity and filial loyalty. Yeah, top five reasons. Yeah. Yeah. So what do we mean by religion here? So we're already married. Kita sama-sama we are Muslims. What do you mean by faith. Now, faith is an important value to share between couples, of course. Yeah, but faith also has its variation. What do you mean by faith? Is it enough that you declare that you are a Muslim, or do you want somebody who actually pray 5 times a day? Or is it okay if the person ponting, sometimes pray, sometimes doesn't pray? Or must the person always pray Salat Jumaat? What if the person miss Salat Jumaat? Yeah. What if the person fits all your criteria of behavior as a Muslim, but only one thing, he smokes? Are you able to accept that? Yeah, because there was one couple, there's one person, everything fits lovely, except that this brother, he smoked. And because of that, she rejected him. Cross pangkal. Yeah. Why? Because anti-smoking, no smoking is probably her top priority, number one, top one. Cannot be a smoker. Then she should have put that. No smoker, then we will match. Yeah. Smoker je kena reject, no matter how good you are. Right? Yeah. So in this case, actually, what we can do is to counsel. Hmm. We can counsel both. Are you willing to give him time to quit smoking? Then with him, are you willing to consider, putting in the effort to quit smoking if you think she's a shorga worthy wife, right? You think that she's worthy to be the mother of your children, are you willing to consider those things? Yeah. So when we talk about religion, also there are many aspects. So some also say, okay, I only want a person from the Shafi'i school of thought. Cannot be the Hanafi, for instance, or follow this ustaz or ustazah, or don't follow this jama'ah or that jama'ah. We also have that variation, yeah, to look at. And so when you find somebody, if you are both religious, so what type of zikir do you do? Do you ikut ratib, or you just do al-masurat? Okay, so how are you going to do this together? Okay, honesty also has variation. Is it okay to say white lies? How honest it is? So you need to clarify also on that part. Now, filial loyalty is another uh, thing which is good. So you got same shared value, but it can sometimes same shared value can be a challenge also. Yeah, filial loyalty to the family of origin, setia pada keluarga asal. Yeah, service to the family of origin. Now I have my family of origin. My husband has his family of origin. So which one comes first? How to balance that? Yeah, Hari Raya, which house to go first? Okay, I'm gonna fight that. Luckily, we are both in Singapore. Yeah. How much time to spend here, spend there? So filial loyalty when two mothers are sick, how do you handle that? Do you have siblings to support you? Yeah. So these are also sometimes can be issues, right? So does it filial loyalty means I'm the husband, you listen to me, my mother comes first? Is it that? Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the values that, although we can put the values there, we need to clarify and clarify. We need to seek clarification about our own understanding of the values. Yeah, I go on a little bit more before we stop for a while. Yeah. So this is getting to know. Yeah. And during engagement is also a good time to get to know your future family in-laws, your future in-laws. So your tunang, your fiance is the bridge between you and your family, because these days singles, they look for partner themselves. It's not family yang matchmake kan. It's not like two families, they know each other. I have a son, you have a daughter. We kind of get along. Our children, let's see whether they can get along. We don't have that much anymore. They still have, yeah. And these people, and they are matchmade, when they come to our classes, they will sit far away. The halal gap, it's like this, the halal gap. Yeah. Those who like together, the halal gap is a bit smaller. And so this is what is happening today, and more people are going into dating app, right? To find a life partner, and it is okay to use dating app, but I think we need to know yourself first and to be careful about the choices that you make, and it's not encouraged, to go out so-called dating, because when we do matchmaking, we don't consider it dating. When you meet, we are there to accompany you, or at least we stay nearby where you have your meeting, or maybe you want to consider bringing your muhrim, bring a muhrim when you want to go and assess your this potential match, that the app has given you. Yeah, and it worked for some, it doesn't work for, it don't work for others, some of these apps. And that's why they've been coming to me and say, "Kak Zarina, when are you going to start this matchmaking thing? I don't know." Yeah, so what I would call upon the community is, actually this is a community effort to help our singles find their match. Seriously, with all the social media and supposed to be so networked, it's not so easy actually for our singles to find a life partner. It becomes so noisy, it becomes so loud, they do not know what is genuine and what is not. And we need to help our singles so that, we find partners who are in Singapore, Singaporean with Singaporean. I'm not against foreigners, because I teach at Muslim converts. There's a lot of transnational marriages, but it would be good to help our sisters find a local husband, so that that both can be in Singapore to look after the elders when our parents grow old. Yeah, they have children here to look out for each other. And also it's easier for the wali to check or to make sure that his or her daughter, is married into, or at least be around for the daughter when they are married in Singapore. Yeah, to fall back for the daughter, to fall back on them for support if she needs help, and also for the husband to have parents in Singapore, because the parents, the families in Singapore can help support the couple, right? The newlywed couple who are setting up their marriage here. But if you marry foreigner, is going to be far away, and the challenges are going to be different. A lot of loneliness, and of course, it's not wrong. Islam does encourage for us to widen, right, our network, to know one another. It's just that the challenges would be different. And another thing, if you're looking for a life partner, it is better that we get the blessings from both families. Yeah, this a tone is a tone for a happier marriage. It makes life so much easier for you when parents give their blessings. And this is where my message to parents is that, also not to make it too difficult for our children. Yeah, if their choice is not the one that you want, your dua is very important, very very important for them. I've seen parents who they say they give their blessings, but macam like they say, macam it's like izin dalam paksa, I give my blessings not because like I feel like I have to, because they already like each other. Yeah, and then when the reality set in after the nikah, the reality all comes out, the unhappiness of the parents come out, and a lot of challenges given to the children. And I heard there's this one well-known speaker who I'm going to bring into Singapore soon in June, inshallah. He said this, I won't say his name first. He said this: if a couple marries against the wishes of the parents, yeah, he said the happiness is one, but the suffering is nine. I was like, oh, wow, He said, like, for every happiness, you suffer 9 times more. He said that. Um, I don't think it's based on any hadith or anything like that, but I believe that Taubatan Nasuha and working on it, winning over the parents, is upon the couples. If this is what you face, um, do not give up hope. Uh, be the best of akhlaq, best of character, and inshallah you will win over your parents with a lot of dua. And you just need to put in the 9 time effort probably. But even if with the blessings, there will be challenges also. It's just that it's different. And so when we talk about jodoh, yeah, and you're happy, everything is blissful, you're in this honeymoon period, you must remember that how to get there, one of the things is also about values. It's important to understand what are the values you're looking for, just like I mentioned, yeah. And so I quote from this ayat, Surah Taubah, verse 71. I'm just going to go through the English uh, meaning of it. The believers, men and women, are protectors of one another. They enjoin what is just and they forbid what is evil. They observe regular prayers, practice regular charity, obey Allah and His Messenger. On them will Allah pour His mercy, for Allah is exalted in power, wise. Inshallah, yeah. So this is another value. Now, when we look at mu'minuna wal mu'minat, the believers, men and women. So we look for life partner, we look for the believers, yeah, who understands the um, five pillars of Islam and six articles of faith. Ya, 5 rukun Islam, 6 rukun iman. If you do not know, refresh, go for refresher and understand that the role of men and women in general, overall, we are protectors of one another. It's not that the man is dominant above the woman. Yeah, so we need women are also able to protect. Yeah, we are also able to protect the opposite sex. So we are co-protectors of one another. The condition is how we enjoin what is just. We uphold equity and justice. Yeah? And we tolak, we push away, forbid evil. Amar ma'ruf and nahi munkar. And the simple, also by simply what? Starting by regular prayers. Yeah? Jaga our salat. InsyaAllah. A reminder to all of us. Practice regular charity. Now, salat and charity always comes together here. Yeah? So, if you're looking for jodoh also, these are some of the simple things you can start doing. Regular charity did not come out like $100 per day. A smile is also a charity. But here, of course, we're talking also about infaq, yeah? Charity that you put into common tabung, what is it, tabung? A tin apa, or have a regular gyro deduction. Now we can do that every month to which organization that you want to, maybe to Perdaus ke, for the madrasah. And obey Allah in general. In general, everything is halal except for a few things only that's haram. Yeah, obey Allah and His Messenger. That's all. And with that, Allah Ta'ala will pour His mercy on us. Yeah? Ask from Him whatever you want. Observe these simple things and then ask from Him. Ya Allah, ringankanlah jodohku dengan lini takina imama. Rabbana hablana min azwajina wa zuriyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Right? Ask Allah for His mercy to grant you uh, a jodoh, a partner from among the leaders, to be among the leaders. For Allah Ta'ala is most exalted in power. Inna Allah Azizun Hakim, the most wise. InsyaAllah. Amin. So we talk about values also. Yes, these are some of the things that we ask the single participants as well. And you can do this also with your partner. Yeah, and see what are the most important values that you have. The one that must have here. Yeah, that will be your top 3 or top 5. And compare with your partner and see whether it's the same. For those who are married, you can check this out for yourself. Yeah, for those who are not married, you can check out whether what is important to you. Yeah, and so when you find a prospective partner, see whether they match or not. Yeah, how can you um seek clarification? Can you embrace the differences? If all the same, it might not be in the same order of priority. Yeah? If it's different, how can you embrace it? So these are some of the exercises that you can do with your partner. I thought of doing it here, but I think I'll skip it for other discussion. Okay. And so I'm talking about just now values. The other part is vision. Throughout, when you're looking for our jodoh and through our marriage life, it's important to know what we want. 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. That's why I asked how long you're going to be married. What do you want at the end of your life? You want to enter Jannah, but how? Which Jannah? The best of Jannah or the one at the lowest? Okay, so how do you want to achieve that? Yeah. So I have a raised hand. Can I finish this first? Finish this question, this part first. So what is your vision? Okay. If I were to bump into you 5 years or 10 years after your marriage life, how would you want your marriage life to look like? Now, I've heard about some singles and said, oh, when I marry, my husband must be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And when I marry my wife, my future wife must be like this, like this, like this, like this. Huh? Because this is what I am. I'm not going to change. This is what I want to be. Ha ha ha. Yeah. All right. As much as you think that this is what you want, this is what who you are, the same thing your future partner is going to have his own vision, his own idea about what he wants and what his future is going to be like. And so when two people come together, you need to be able to have a shared vision. Just now I said it's important to have shared values, whether it's same or different. You need to have a common space that you share everything. The same with vision, you need to have a shared vision about what family life is all about, what you want for yourself and your partner together, taking care of yourself and taking care of your partner, taking care of this marriage, will be taking care of the children. Yeah, providing more stability for the children. And so, um, always revisit the values and the vision that you have with each other, because vision can change. Yeah, those who have been married many years, you will know vision can change. Some visions I see they grow stronger. At first, maybe they have a fake vision of life together, but as they learn and move through the marriage life, they get stronger about what we want our children to be like. Yeah, the freedom that we give them, but how we want them to grow. How do we want our grandchildren to remember us? Have you thought about that? How do you want your grandchildren to remember you? How do you want your great great grandchildren to remember you? What are you going to leave behind for them? Yeah, what are you going to leave behind together with your family for the community? Yeah. So we need to keep drawing this vision. Yeah, as life changes, as circumstances changes, we need to draw and redraw this vision. So a starting point for those who are looking for the Jodoh, you might have your vision, but be prepared to make adjustments on your vision. Be prepared to listen. Yeah, be prepared to seek to understand. We can't seek to agree. We can't have people to agree with us all the time. It's not possible. But if we stick on that, it's difficult to know. So we need to start with understanding and keep redrawing this vision board, because if we don't, yeah, and we don't address the issues carefully, when we can't draw a common vision board, there are issues that probably needs to be managed. That vision is going to become separate. Yeah. Yeah. We thought we are together, but we are not. Then as the years go by, 10 years, 20 years, yeah, that's what's happening. And sadly, I am very sad. And I heard friends, who had been married for 20 years, it ended. Yeah, it didn't just end like that. There have been problems from the start, but somehow it has not been addressed. And among it is what the values and visions. Yeah, having that shared values and vision together. Because if you have this vision, it will direct you into one direction, and you're going to see the bigger picture and whatever issues you face. You're going to, see it as okay. Inshallah, we can manage this. We will handle this. We'll come to a compromise, or we adjust our expectations, or we make adjustments, to meet these expectations. Inshallah. Yeah. So, what's your family vision? Can you draw it? Yeah. What's your vision statement? Vision statement for family. Yeah? Mine is simple. It can be simple. No need to be so complicated. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. This is ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. Amin. Yep. So I stop here. I stop here for now. Okay, before we take on more questions. So I pass it back to you, Hatim.
Sure. So I believe this is the Q&A session for the one.
Can we
The
can see what questions are coming in? Yeah.
Okay, sure. So we actually have one question in already. Wait, let me just change this for a while. Okay, so the first question actually we have from Encik Osman bin Abdullah. So he asked, when we get married, is it wise for both parents to interfere in our married life?
Uh, I want to check. Can you hear me clearly? I have a request that my voice is getting soft.
Right now I can hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
I don't know about the rest. Huh? Okay, I'll try to speak louder. So, question just now: should parents interfere? Okay.
Yes. In a
Yes. Uh, Parents have the best interest of their children in their heart now. Huh? It's just how they express that best interest sometimes becomes an issue. Yeah? Yeah, all parents have the best interest of their children. And so, how do you define interfere? So, I cannot just give a general answer. Yeah. What do you mean by interfere? In and so, if you feel that there's an interference, yeah, as a couple, you need to team up. Yeah? Not to be against the parents, no. Yeah? Team up. What is it that you want? Listen. Validate what they say. Say, oh, is it like that, ma? Why do you think it's like that? It's because it's based on their experience. Yeah, find out and validate what their opinion. I see. Okay. Huh? But it does not mean you agree. You just understand. You need to do this as a couple. I understand, right? But as a couple, you decide what is you think is best in your situation. Yeah, take what is good from what they give to you. And also, sometimes parents they talk only to one side. They talk to only their daughter, or they talk only to their son. Yeah, and when you have this happening, you don't go and tell your partner, "Hey, my mother said this. Hey, my father said this. Huh? Jangan sampaikan macam gitu. You don't have to say that. You listen to what your parents' opinion are, and then you decide. Yeah, take the suggestion, and then you decide with your partner discuss. Is this a good thing? Is this the best thing for us? Should we give it a try? Take it as a brainstorming lah. Take it as an idea. I don't know what's the issue here, but you have to be careful when we come to parents because we must be careful against raising our voice, yeah, with our parents. Allah put a high ranking on the need to respect parents. Therefore, to do that, we need to collaborate with our partner, and sometimes in our effort, in our eagerness to be a team, uh, me, my wife, me, my husband, and children, we kind of overlook and oversight on the welfare of our parents also. Uh, we are living in this generation. For you young couples, we are in a sandwich generation. When you have to take care of elderly parents and you have to take care of your children growing up. Just now I say when we're going to die, you say 85, 90, right? If our parents are going to leave us at 85, 90, and you have 30 years of marriage, they're still going to be in our life for the next 20 to 30 years as you go through your marriage life. Yeah. And it's important to have good relationships with siblings because then you will have more support on how you're going to manage our elderly parents, and not one, you got two sets. Most of us are going to have two sets of parents. You're going to have uh, uh, going to age long. Alhamdulillah, they are our source of barakah. Of course, we need to be a lot patient, and it is not easy all the time. I know that, but if you get stuck, seek help. Ask for nasihat. All right, that's my general answer. Ask for nasihat. Seek somebody older, not necessarily your peers. Seek somebody older, and if you need someone to talk to your parents, somebody who your parents respect. Yeah, inshallah. I hope I answered that question. There's a lot of questions in the chat also.
So much, Kak Zarina. So I think, is there a follow-up question to that, or we can move on to the next question?
I think we move on to the next question.
All right. So, Mr. Hanif Halim is asking, do married couples still have to attend marriage courses again? And if yes, every 5-10 years, or only when there is a problem, since the
Good
demand
question.
is growing higher yearly?
Don't wait until you have a problem to attend a marriage. I call it marriage enrichment. Right? Marriage enrichment. You know, we tried so many times to do enrichment and fail over and over again. People are not attending marriage enrichment. Maybe they feel that if I attend marriage enrichment, it means I have a problem. No, not necessarily. Yeah, you from the honeymoon, you go to the Onionmoon. I told Hatim, onion, you need to cut onion. But you need the onion, to masak, to cook. But so if you cut the onion, you're going to tears. It's just a part of life. It's a necessary part of life, this onion moon. Without the onion moon, bulan bawang, you won't feel the honeymoon. So the honeymoon can come back again over and over again uh, throughout our marriage life. It's just that whenever it happens again, like let's say in the 5th year of your marriage life, because I experienced that. It's like you fall in love all over again, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's better than the honeymoon, I would say, because you've gone through that challenge together, and you have reached a better understanding. And so the same thing, and when you progress, I think for me, I'm very lucky because we attend marriage courses together. We had to go for trainers course, kan? And when we go for a trainer course, all the trainers will zoom on us because we're husband and wife. Kita kena dulu, and so our marriage becomes under the microscope also. Yeah. And so, yes, yeah, attend the courses, enrichment courses. Anywhere you can find, sometimes there are free courses from the mosque and the Sikh front also. Maybe Perdaus, we want to do occasional courses, enrichment talks. Inshallah, they will be good. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
if I understand correctly from what you're saying, the honeymoon is not just a one-time off stage. It can come again. Is that what you
Okay. Yes, the honeymoon at the early stage will be different than the honeymoon in the later stage. Yeah. So it's not always tears all the way, lah. I mean, no. There will be a meaningful, very meaningful moments in your life. And one of my trainer colleagues who passed away, one of the marriage course trainers, she has passed away. This is what she shared with me. Zarina, she said, you feel a lot of satisfaction when you see your children has grown up and become an asset to the community. She said that. Yeah. Uh, to her marriage life, that's the honeymoon. Yeah. And it's a different level of satisfaction. So you go on a different, staircase where you go up and up a different level. So that is the satisfaction that I guess you want. So you need to set your vision about what you want, right? So along the way there'll be some onions, but there'll be honeys along the way to pick up as a reward, inshallah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think thank you so much for opening up the definition of honeymoon. Like it's not just after the nikah and then that's it. It's actually like a cycle, right? Rather than
Yes.
just membawang all the way. Yes.
Tukang bawang all the way.
Okay. So yeah, we do have one next question by Ryan Iveen. What to do if both parents of both parties do not allow each other to be married? So I assume that they're talking that the parents
Objection.
are not happy with this marriage for whatever reason, both
Mm.
rational and irrational.
Yeah, you need to find out why. Yeah, why is it? If the reasons are not valid, I know I come across like example one couple. The wali refused to give consent. Wali inkar, right? We call this. There's no valid reason to object actually. When the two are already like their hearts together, and in this case, in this real case, the parents were divorced actually, and so the father did not consent out of spite. Okay, out of spite, and after so many attempts, he still did not consent. The case was the Qadi override the decision of the wali. Yeah, because there's no valid reason to object. Both are, let's say, individuals who solat, who jaga agama, and leaving them like that is more harmful. Yeah, and so you need to really get somebody or third party to find out why is it. Yeah, get somebody learned and respectable to find out why. And if you got to do a lot of hajat ni semua, but it's best to have the consent. I will tell you that. Yeah, it's best to have the consent. The pain of being apart is just temporary in this world. I've this one case where the couple who attended our course, they had a beautiful vision. Their values are all I'd say is there, lah. And the vision, is all there. Yeah. 1 month before the wedding, the mother objected to it. The guy's side, objected to it. Came out, the reality is the marriage is going to happen, and he called it off. she called me crying and asked me to help. Can you help, be the intermediary and find out what is it, how is it going to be like. So while I was considering what to do to come in and see what I can do, she said she did her prayer and decided not to proceed also. Like, it's okay, like she said, it's better that it happened now than later. Yeah, in the marriage life. Yeah, I would say really do your prayers and get help to find out why. Okay, there must be some reasons. Inshallah. Yeah,
We have Encik Osman who held up his hand again. So would you like me to read out the question, or you want to unmute yourself, Encik Osman?
yeah. Yes, Cik Osman.
Ya. Dengar.
Dengar.
Yes.
Berkenaan dengan perkahwinan,
Ya.
kadang-kadang ni orang tua ni suka masuk campur. Dia selalu pihak pada anak dia daripada suami atau isteri dia lah. So is it bagus ke kalau macam orang tua tu masuk campur?
Okay. So ya, itu saja. Okay.
Ya, itu aja lah.
Seperti saya kata tadi lah, I speak in English kan? Boleh I reply in English?
Ya.
Parents like a wali still has a say over the welfare of the daughter, for example. Just because he had married her off does not mean that he cannot make sure atau see that the daughter is still protected. Tak dizalimi lah, dizalim happen. But when you say parents menangkan anak dia sendiri, that's very natural. That's very normal. Yeah, for parents to be biased. However, you cannot change them, correct? It's just like you don't have to accept it also. Yeah? So it's just again I come back between the husband and the wife lah. Are you a team? Are you together on this issue, or you need somebody to come in and mediate or help out? Yeah. So you have to decide. If you are united, it's easier. But if you have differences on this issue, I would suggest if you can't work it out yourself. For me, I do like kind of mentoring. They come in and do a profile, then we speak about what you can do to enrich your own marriage. But if you need help, more than that, I would suggest to go for some counseling session. Just between you and your wife first, or not you lah. Sorry, I'm not saying you. The issue, get the couple to go for counseling. Yeah, and sometimes a third party, sometimes people won't listen to us, but they listen to the third party. I'd like to share story. Can I share another story?
Yes,
Yeah?
please.
There's this one case. After the son chose the wife, and then moved into their house because it's the only son, the mother was very unhappy over the new wife, with the new wife. Everything she did was wrong. Semua salah. Nothing is right. Yeah. And so the wife gets so sad and frustrated. She told her husband, never mind, like, you divorce me. I don't want to come in between you and your mother. Why don't you divorce me? Yeah. But he didn't want. He loves her very much. Yeah. So they went for counseling. They seek help with a counselor. I won't say where it is. And the counselor called the mother for a session also. So Alhamdulillah, the mother agreed to come. Yeah. And from the several session, it was so obvious that she hated the daughter-in-law. Tak suka memang. Yeah. And so it came to a point the counselor said, okay lah, in that case, you insisted, shoulder bawah tapak kaki ibu. If your son is forced to choose, it seems that you ask him to choose, then he will divorce her. Yeah, to the extent. And then she realized that that the son will actually divorce his wife for her. And with God's grace, and with Allah's rahmah, she changed over new leaf. The mother changed her mind. Yeah, because she realized that if the son divorced the wife, he is going to be broken because she knows that the son loved the wife very much, and he's going to be broken, and she is going to be sinful, for causing the breakup when there's no asas, there's no reason. She did not. She was a good wife, like in that sense. And she began to work on herself with the counselor, yeah, to accept the daughter-in-law, and they work together on areas that they can compromise or work together on. Yeah. So my point here is actually that counseling sometimes can help. Yeah. So if couples find that they cannot solve the issue themselves, seek help. This is my suggestion. And seek help early. Awal kan. Don't wait until it's too late. Yeah. And be sincere and open to realize that sometimes we are the one who need to make changes. Yeah. Inshallah. Yeah. I hope that's enough. Okay.
Thank you so much, Kak Zarina. So I think we have one more
More.
question left, which
Yeah.
I think is a nice segue to the next section on Onionmoon, actually. So
Okay.
Mrs. Bawang, I'm not so sure what is the status. This person asked, we spoke about knowing our partner's character before marriage and if it matches us. So after years of marriage, our partners change and we are in the honeymoon now. So how do we go forward and try to achieve the so-called honeymoon? And growing in love again, like as Madam Zaitun here has
Yeah, all of us will go through that, this honeymoon phase. And I tell you, Shaitan will work very hard for us to go through more honeymoon than honeymoon, right? Because for every divorce, the arash will shake. eh? And so we won't divorce immediately. So we go to onion, and if there's a divorce, then the Shaitan will get his crown. Yeah? Can you imagine how many crown he got it already? Yeah, for every divorce. And so the same thing here. How you go forward? If both of if the couples both want the marriage to work, seek help together. Yeah, come for the enrichment also, because if you want it to work, Allah Taala has promised that He will make it happen. He will make it work. Yeah, so seek your doa to Allah Taala that your partner also wants it to work and you want it to work. If both of you are ikhlas, inshallah you are ikhlas, seek Allah's help and maybe show to you who can help you. Because if you can't solve the issue yourself, you would need an extra hand and ask Allah to show you where to go. There are various centers that you can go for help. Yeah. If you are willing to work on it together, you can leave your contact and I can see how I can help you also. But I don't do counseling. Yeah, I do marriage coaching and mentoring is different. This is where both wants to work on it. Yeah, wants to look at it. If that is my advice. Yeah? And at times you need to go for your own retreat again, marriage retreat. I'm organizing a retreat in June, a marriage retreat. Yeah? Marriage retreat is when you focus just on you. The children all leave behind. The last time we went on a retreat, we went to Bintan with what, can't remember, 20 couples. It was fun. Yeah, 3 days, 2 nights. Children all leave behind. So you might need this retreat and look at the marriage again. Yeah. I've done this over 4 hours also, 3 to 4 hours, just to give an idea on how you can re, put a booster back into the romance, the marriage life again. Okay, so look out for courses, and if you really can't, then seek help. Inshallah. Don't wait too long. Yeah, and Sister Zaitun Ali said, "Do not let Shaitan have more crown." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Work on it because the ones that suffer is the children. Really, yeah. If you have a lot too many onions, more onions, and honeymoon is the children who's going to suffer. Yep.
Okay, Cesarina, I had actually wanted to move on to the next section, but I received an anonymous question here. I don't know whether you want to go over for one question or you want to presentation
Is
first.
it related to this part? Then we'll just answer it. Then we move on.
Somewhat yes. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll just do it quickly. Yeah, the speaker mentioned that once you enter marriage, everything starts from scratch with this knowledge and thought ingrained in my head, my partner and I are not really rushing into marriage right now. So it is quite messed up because we are not from a secular background. How do I convince her and myself to actually accelerate ourselves into the marriage phase? So I suppose they're still dating now. So how do they, have more serious talk with regards to marriage?
If you can't reach an understanding between the two of you, find a third party. Yeah, that's why some people attend the marriage course sometimes, because they need a third person to help you facilitate so that you can reach an understanding. Why now? Why delay? Yeah? I've seen I've many madrasah students who are getting married who attended our course also, private sessions, personal sessions, and sometimes yeah, and they attend also the general sessions. In general, I see it's not healthy to keep it too long. It's not. Yeah, you can, let's say you go for studies ke apa, if you can maintain the adab, it's going to be tough lah. Yeah, it's going to be tough because shaitan is going to, the attraction is very strong before nikah, very strong. You can maintain the adab, well, fine. uh, if you feel that it's too long, when is it a good time to engage? In general, it's about 6 months. Tak payah lama-lama. Ya, tak payah 3 tahun. You need 3 years, 4 years. Don't. Yeah. When you're ready for marriage, then boom, enter. Kalau if not, it's best to be how you say, not to be too emotionally entangled. Yeah. Otherwise, when the breakup is going to be very painful and it's going to have a scar, on your emotional scar. It's going to, for some, there's no closure, then affects the next relationship. Uh, or sometimes for some couples, they keep making the same mistake from the first one to the second one. Why? Because they did not actually manage the weaknesses or mistakes in themselves yet.
He did not
You see
manage
people,
from the mistakes like you're saying, or
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
prolongs towards the next relationship.
yeah, yeah. So is come and talk to me lah and see what you can do. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm,
sure.
this,
Thank you so much.
inshallah.
So
Okay.
stop sharing now for your next deck of slides.
Yes, inshallah. Let's see. Now, just nice, the question that came just before this. So I talk about vision. Okay. When you find that person, or you want to know whether that is a person, like I say, it's good to work in a project together, but it's also good if you feel that you can become friends. I don't say that you must become friends before the nikah, no, but that means you can talk like friends. Yeah, meaning there's no like hierarchy, I'm going to be your future husband, you must address me like this and that. But you can talk friends. When friends talk, they don't feel threatened, right? If I talk to Sister Hatim as a friend, you don't feel threatened, no? You can bounce ideas without taking offense, whatever. So these are friends, yeah? Casual friendship talks. So if you can have that, that will help in your marriage. Yeah? So couples who are married, sometimes I think we need to remember how to become friends again. Yeah, how to that's why this get away and become friends. But uh, because the research has shown that if you respect each other as a husband and a wife, but also love each other as best friends, your partner is your best friends, it's easier for you to talk about problems. So when you talk about problems, you won't escalate into shouting at each other, or having so much grudge or hard feelings with each other. So even though you're serious and talking about problems, but you can maintain your calmness and friendliness in that sense, inshallah. Okay. Yeah. So I asked this question before in my Instagram. Are you and your fiance friends? I asked it. Or are you and your partner friends? Then I got some reply that no, we can't be friends. And I was surprised because they attended my course. Yeah. And true enough, but of course my course won't change you overnight lah. It's really up to individuals. But true enough, as I was concerned, not long after that they broke off. Yeah, they broke off the engagement. Uh, it's just my sharing. Ah, and this is the often quoted surah. We wish you Sakina, Mawaddah and Rahmah, right? You always hear that, kan? So Hatim, then my sister Hatim asked me about this. It struck me that, hey, how many people are really aware about Sakina, Mawaddah and Rahmah? We heard about it, and this is a famous verse about relationship, about a paradigm in a marriage. When couples ask me, Ustazah, how do you know our marriage is on the right track? Or we are doing it right? Yeah, I say you look at the surah, Surah Ar-Rum, surah number 30, ayat 21. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون. Yeah? And among his signs is this, that he created for you mates from among yourselves. Yeah? From among ourselves, Adam alayhi salam was in syurga and yet he's lonely. Right? And so Allah Ta'ala created Hawa, radiallahu anha, yeah, and became his companion. So it's very natural for us to want to have companionship with the opposite sex. Okay, it has to be opposite, inshallah. That you may dwell in sakina with them. So sakina is a sense of like I'm complete. There's tranquility, there's peace. You look forward to meet your partner. Not seram. Alamak, she's coming home. You get nervous. Alamak, she's going to come home and start nagging. Yeah, it's not that. Right? So Sakina is looking forward to come home. The same thing, we want Sakina, our children, yeah, to look forward to come home, to be with us, as parents. We want that. We want to build that in our home. For Allah Ta'ala says He has put mawaddah, this mutual love in our heart, the mutual attraction that was there. Yeah? And He has put rahmah between us, between our hearts. So this mutual mawaddah is not auto. Allah Ar-Rahman Rahim, Allah Ta'ala loves us more than our own parents loves us, yeah, our own mother. So He has put this love into us. Yeah, love is something that you can groom to grow, but you need to continuously fertilize it lah. Got to work on it. It's not auto. Yeah, you got to put in the effort. There's a lot of effort. However, that is difficult to grow the love. You put poison also in it. Yeah. So poison are the onions also, the rahmah. Onions, you put a tree, you put air bawang, siram air bawang, it will not grow. Yeah, it may not grow lah. Some will not grow. But what I mean is you need rahmah. Rahmah, what is rahmah? Rahmah is more than mercy. Rahmah is more than compassion. Rahmah is giving beyond your designated roles and responsibilities. Going beyond that. Yeah. Rahmah. So we're talking about mawaddah love between our love, hablum minallah and hablum minannas. We have to work on that. And rahmah also, we want rahmah, hablum minallah. We want rahmah to also be among humankind, hablum minannas, and it has to start with ourselves. So we need to practice this rahmah. Without rahmah, it's difficult to grow love. Yeah. Verily, in that are signs for those who reflect. Those who, yeah, we see sakina, mawaddah, and rahmah are all uh, passionate terms, emotional passionate terms, feeling, in our heart. But Allah Ta'ala says, لِقَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. That use this. If I can do here and here. So you have to like rotate here and here. Yeah, it has to go up together. It does not work just here. It does not work just being rational. This is right. This is wrong. Yeah, with no empathy in it, you can't. We need both. We need to reflect on both. Yeah, not use too much of this and not follow too much of this. Right, you need to balance it out. So you have to really think. Yeah, are these the things that we do, the behavior that we put up? Are these signs of mawaddah that Allah wants? Are these signs of rahmah that Allah Ta'ala wants us to show? So these are the signs here. When we journey into the marriage life, we are going to make mistakes. So it's only best to apologize. Yeah? Saying sorry is not the end of everything. Yeah? Even though you think you are right, and most of the time you will think you are right. Right? You are always right, right? Because we think through everything, so we know we are right. It takes a lot of humility to admit that we are wrong. Yeah. So sometimes I also want to cry. I am right, I should I swallow my pride. Wait. Before I respond, let me think first. I move from here to here. Sini wants to say I'm right, but I think first and reflect. Yeah. So sometimes to practice this rahmah takes time. It's not that immediately you can say sorry. Yeah. Sometimes it's not immediate that when you're angry, your anger will go away immediately. It may take some time, but the point is not to ignore it. You need to address the matter. So these are the signs that we get to use and always dua in our dua to Allah Ta'ala, that Allah Ta'ala grant us between husband and wife sakinah, mawaddah and rahmah. That if you're looking for a life partner, dua that he also falls back on such surahs, all the love surahs in the Quran, all the love surahs in the Quran for you to ride through your marriage life. I hope that is clear. Yeah, it's just some visuals, yeah, to share that we need these two pillars for the Sakina. And of course, if you compare ourselves with the non-Muslims, they also love, yeah, they also practice compassion, yeah, they also have we can assume lah, tranquility or happiness in their marriage. So what is the difference between our marriage and what is the difference between the ROMN marriage and the ROM marriage? I know some Muslims who actually go to ROM to register their marriage. They don't nikah. Huh? They choose to do the other way. Okay. So what is the difference then? Anyone? So if you go back to Sakinah, Mawaddah and Rahmah in Surah Ar-Rum, of course the difference is in our taqwa, right? Yeah, our taqwa to Allah Ta'ala. And so we do this. So we do this to actually seek Allah Ta'ala's reda. InsyaAllah, yeah. And so what I'm saying here is that we need to put in the effort from the start. Yeah? If we start wrong, there's always taubat. Do a lot of taubat, retreat 1 week, do your fasting, your tahajjud, retreat to Allah Ta'ala's cave, seek His name, go under His umbrella. There's 99 names of Allah, payung, yeah? Seek the umbrella of Allah Ta'ala, choose which umbrella you want to sit under, yeah, do a lot of istighfar and call out His name, yeah, to help you sort out on your challenges, or even if you are happily married, even to strengthen, yeah, the love. One moment, please. Yeah. So these are some of the red flags in the early years of marriage life. Just to share very quickly. Yeah. Some things that when the honeymoon is like not there, or sometimes you start to see it, and it becomes real. These are the onions, some of the onions that you might, some couples might, many of us, not all, some of it. Right. So actually coming to the end of the slides, this Hatim, audience. Just recap. Have a vision. Yeah, if you are looking for somebody, talk about your marriage vision of marriage life based on Sakinah, Mawaddah, and Rahmah or some other verses. Also remember to include parents in your vision board. Yeah, how are you going to manage parents, because these are some of the realities. And if you have in your vision, you want this type of house, you want this type of car, right? You got to ask yourself how you're going to finance it also, and not to get into debt. Yeah, in the early years of your marriage or any years of the marriage, beware of debt. Okay. You also have to remember that chemistry alone is not enough. The early attraction is to maintain the flame of love. So you need to be ready for lifelong effort in making adjustments for emotional connections. Yeah. So this emotional connection, you need to always revive it, and it needs you to be able to be flexible. Yeah. You are who you are, but are you flexible? Can you change colors? Yeah, for example. Yeah. But if you will remain hard and you want to like I don't know, you can flex a bit like this will be good. But if you remain hard, you want to change, something is going to break. Okay, so making lifelong adjustments is part of marriage life. So marriage life is not being adjusted. It's not about being adjusted. It's about making the adjustments to face the challenges that come in, might be within you or out. Yeah? And working on compatibility is not something automatic. Everybody has to work on it, yeah, to be compatible. We are not like most compatible, tak ada. Yeah. But reducing the gap, yeah, the space between you with the primary values that you believe in is important, I would say. Yeah. Um, I'm not sure you understand me there. I think based on the values that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. And again, about compatibility, it's just perspective. Everybody, every one of us, whatever that is you share in common, you celebrate. Alhamdulillah. That's your strength. Okay. But if it's different, embrace it. Yeah? Make it yours. At least respect the differences, and you move on from there. Okay. So that is the end of my slide for today. And just nice, almost 9:30. That means we can still take some of the questions. Before that, I just short introduction just now, more about myself. Uh, yeah, never mind. We have mentioned that earlier.
Yes,
Okay.
Zarina, actually, we received a couple more questions from
Okay.
the anonymous form. I think some of it goes back. Okay, there are some which goes back to Jodoh, and the other ones are the Onionmoon period. Maybe I'll stick to the Onionmoon period first.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you touched on this already briefly just now. What are the signs that you need couples counseling?
Oh, okay. I go back to the slide now. Huh? Maybe it's too fast. Yeah. Red flags. In our course, we ask couples to tell each other what are your red flags. That means this red flag means this one you don't do. You don't do. I'm going to be very angry. Yeah, you're going to piss me off. Yeah. So that one you can be clear. Sometimes they don't know what's their red flag. Yeah. Yeah. And that requires self-awareness. But these are some of the things you need to be aware of. When there's some addictions is not just drugs and alcohol, not just substance. It can be a game addiction. Yeah. There was one couple I met. Uh, Her husband was such an game addict. Yeah. Yeah. She was matchmade, and then things didn't work out. To cut the story short, things didn't work out. She filed for divorce. After that, she became like trauma. Yeah. Anyone yang approach her, any sign of gaming, she will like get so scared. Yeah. So this is also a form of addiction. Yeah. Abuse can be emotional abuse, like calling the person stupid. Yeah. You want to marry the person, but you call the person bodoh, stupid. That is labeling. A derogative labeling is an emotional abuse as well. So love is not equal to pain. Love is not abuse. Okay. If you constantly feel that, that's not love. Yeah. Yeah. Fear of conflict. Now, fear of conflict may be, is there too many conflicts all the time? Uh, or you do not want to have any conflict, so you agree to everything. Or sometimes the person actually do avoidance, do not want to discuss. Run away. Don't talk to me about this problem. Don't talk to me about any problems. Okay, so fear of conflict, fear of challenges is a sign they do not want to address it. Yeah. In fact, avoidance, when you do not want to talk about things, when conversations stop, is the fastest way for divorce. Okay. Yeah. Inability to have fun together, cannot be friends. Yeah. You simply don't like to be with each other. These are early signs also. Lack of respect. Respect can mean a lot of things. Some people, you ask them to sit on the floor, there's a sign of disrespect. Yeah, so you need to also understand how a family qualifies certain things as respect. Lack of romance and intimacy, cannot touch. cannot say loving words, loving things to each other. Touch is also a sign of intimacy. If couples do not want to be touched, you may not like touching so much, you're not the touchy part, but if cannot touch at all, yeah, there's a sign of problem. Married too young for the wrong reasons. Wrong reasons. Married young is okay if you're mature and if you have very strong family supports. But sometimes young couples, that's the thing lah. For the wrong reasons can be many things. And sometimes it's like they're terlajar and it's for pregnancy. Just because you're pregnant, you don't need to marry that man. Okay? Ladies, you make the mistake, even guys, you make the mistake, does not mean you must marry the girl. Go for counseling, in this case. Over commitment of time to other things. That means you have a second wife or second husband kind of thing. Too involved in organization. uh, so if you are ready to marry somebody who has commitment over other things, be prepared. Like example, doctors, surgeons, over commitment to their patients, and you must be prepared to be alone. Yeah, for example, they will give you time, probably they'll give time and they take time off. But this one also need to be addressed, need to talk about it. Yeah, overspending or mismanagement of finances. In early part dah banyak hutang, debts, and not being able to manage the debts such that you incur interest and financial fees. You need to handle this quickly. Get help. I've seen cases where physical abuse happen, over debts matter. Selfishness is when it's all about me. This marriage is all about fulfilling my needs. This one you need time to understand. Am I being selfish or selfless? The opposite of selfish is selfless. So everything is giving it to the other partner, nothing for yourself. You're gonna burn yourself out. Yeah. So some people they lose their personality, they lose their sense of who I am after marriage. Because they're always giving and giving. They don't have space to be them. So it's very important to create this shared space and safe space. They got to learn that. Sexual problems can be inability to perform sexual intercourse, or overly indulging in it, or even for pornography. Pornography, masturbation, these are all sexual problems which need to be addressed. If you are involved in pornography or masturbation, you need to taubatan nasuha before you get married. And sometimes it happens to married men and women also. When they feel there's a lack of intimacy in their marriage. So you need to address this as well. Too much dependence on parents. This one anak mak, anak bapa. Overgrown babies, not you lah. Too much dependence is sometimes because of lack of maturity, or it's just that, what do you say, Independence, being independent is a sign of maturity. In this sense also, sometimes parents need to let go. I would say parents need to let go, inshallah. Unrealistic expectations. This is another whole list of unrealistic expectations that I handle in my course as well. Right? Like the problem will go away after I got married. Time will, solve everything. When we have children, some of the problems also will go away. We have known each other. There's nothing that will cause us not to love our partner. Our love forever will go up. These are all unrealistic expectations. Inshallah.
Yes, thank you so much, Zarina. I think we're running out of time, but this has been a very beneficial discussion. Alhamdulillah.
I hope so,
So
inshallah.
I'm just trying to wrap this up. So you're saying that when it comes to red flags, it's time to go for third party help, counseling, and that kind of thing. Is that what you're proposing?
I say that attend marriage enrichment courses. If you can manage it yourself, marriage enrichment aims to give you the skills, the tools, so that you can empower yourself to solve it yourself, resolve yourself. If you can't, even after that, then yes, you sit down. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So I think by that, I'm unfortunately we won't be able to attend to any more questions because we are reaching to the end of our time here. So Yes, so Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. We hope that everyone here has benefited and enjoyed the session today. Please help us by giving your feedback on what we did right and not so right for the session. We are also happy to know if you have further suggestions that we could improve ourselves. We could improve on for the next upcoming sessions. So please,
The Khatim is okay. Just now
yes.
it's very
Sorry, you are muted.
Oh, just now it was very noisy when you were talking.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Please click on the QR code. Please scan the QR code to send us your feedback. We really look forward to that. The next, don't forget to register for the next monthly date with Perdaus for March. Ustaz Hanif will be speaking on Isra Mi'raj for the new extension. Those interested can still register. So please also stay tuned and follow us on Facebook and Instagram because we have many more monthly sessions lined up for the rest of the year. Okay, so we would also be grateful if you could contribute an amount that you are comfortable with to help us sustain our dakwah and educational efforts for the community. Scan the QR code for a quick pay now donation, or you can also go to our website so that you can donate via PayPal or your credit card on Kiwi.sg. So, without further ado, let us start proper with Tasbih Al-Surah and Surah Al-Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asri innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa 'amilus solihati wa tawasaw bis-sabr. Thank you again for your time. Please don't forget to send us feedback. Don't forget to donate to us so that we could also continue to have fulfilling educational sessions for all, inshallah. Thank you so much. So you are also free to leave now. See you again, inshallah, next month. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.